Hey everybody, this is Robin Graves, and this is the world according to Graves Unscripted. Which means I probably don't have a script or anything to read from, so we're going to ramble on. It's a little way for me to get my feelings across without feeling so held down. Anyway, first off, Mike, The Rise of Skywalker. I liked it. I really did. When I saw it at the theater, so I decided a chance to get this, went ahead and did it. Um, it's the multi-screen edition, whatever that means. So, anyway, a little sippage here. Don't ask what that is. It's not Pepsi. Guys, I want you to go to Glory Rods, okay? Find them on Facebook, the Facebook page, Glory Rods at Facebook. Go there, and they do really good fishing rods, a lot of custom work and everything, and it's not for really super high prices either. How often can you go out and have a custom made fishing rod and laugh at your buddies who's got their little stock Zebco pieces of crap? So, anyway, go check them out and tell them that Robin sent you. They'll treat you really good. Anyway, I had an idea of something I wanted to do, and I started, working on it, and it kind of got nixed. There's a lot of things happening. I wanted to get away from the whole COVID-19 and politics thing, but it doesn't seem like I can really do that. So I'm going to talk about how things have changed. Uh, it's Things have really changed a lot in my lifetime since the 80s, when I grew up in the 80s. A lot of you out there, younger people, Generation Z or Snowflake or whatever the fuck you are, you say, well, that was a long time ago. Well, so what? It wasn't that long to me. I mean, I'm still listening to a lot of 80s heavy metal. To me, the movies back then were pretty cool. But a lot of you out there, they're about my age. Remember back in the 80s where they could barely keep us inside of a house? We were always outside, always doing something. Riding our bikes, hanging out, partying, getting laid. The typical 80s thing. And then all of a sudden, the 90s happened and grunge happened. All of a sudden, everybody got sensitive about everything. Everybody started getting this whole, emo attitude back in the 90s. Everybody was worried about their feelings. Yeah, we had feelings back in the 80s. We didn't give a shit, though. We didn't make our feelings the top priority of our lives. We had other things to do. You couldn't keep us in the house. Video game consoles got really huge in the 90s. And then nobody left their home. All these kids stayed in their house playing video games. That's all they did. That's all they couldn't tell you who the second president of the US was. They could tell you 20 different ways to beat Zelda. Yeah. And these are people who thought they were going to be running the country. Unfortunately, a lot of them are. And they're still the same wishy-washy, do-nothing people. Look at your typical politician. Now that COVID-19 happened, these same people that you couldn't chase out of a house with a gun because they're connected to a video game are now pissing and crying because they can't stand being cooped up in the house. But playing video before COVID-19 and this whole video game thing was going on, people didn't mind living their lives for their PlayStation 63 or their Nintendo Wii Suck or whatever it was. They're playing. They want to play Badge of Honor or whatever that video game is. I'm not up on video games. I hate video games since they became the whole console thing. In fact, if you watch, I did a Mondo Destructo with a PlayStation. Well, actually, it was a PS2. I enjoyed every bit of it. In fact, I took the games and tossed them all out. My son ended up leaving them here. There was just a lot of crap, that I don't understand about these kids. Used to, we went out, we did things, we had dates, we went to theaters, we went to parties. Now, they don't, unless COVID-19 happens, and they're having a coronavirus party where they're all going to catch coronavirus. They don't care. They want it. They want to catch it because it's not any different than having a cold. Yeah. Let's go talk to the people who've had it. Let's see what they had to say about it. People who had it bad. The people who have died. I don't understand a lot of people. I don't want to understand a lot of their mindset. It drives me thoroughly insane. I don't care that that all these people want to be activists about something. I have a might as well have something to do with your life. Make your life mean something, but quit being the typical let's follow the leader advocate for for people's sexuality. I mean, geez, I mean, how many genders are there now? 250 or something like that. They keep making up new ones as they go along. New, this whole gender identity bullshit. It's an excuse for these people to go out and be victims. That's it. They got the victim mentality. I said before, when I first started this a couple of years ago, I made a lot of comments about personality politics and how the left is really heavy into that. I want to amend that now. It's not personality politics. I made a mistake and said something wasn't. It's not personality politics. It's the victimhood. Excuse me. That's all it is for the left. They want to feel like they're a victim so they can get some attention. Case in point. Um, I'm a nerd. I'll be the first one to tell you. I'm a nerd geek. I play Warhammer 40,000. Right now, there's for the past several years, there's been this big thing about all of these special interests like feminists, the gender identity type people, throwing a screaming fit because Warhammer 40,000 does not represent them. They are not represented in the game. Women are not represented in the game. Bullshit. I can go into that right now. I'll tell you right now. Imperial Guard have a lot of women. The Sisters of Silence are all women. The sororitas are all women. Eldar armies have women in them. So you can't go there. You can't do anything like that. You've got Muslims screaming, well, the Middle Eastern people were not represented in the game. Bullshit. The Talon Desert Raiders are all all Muslim. Well, all Middle Eastern anyway. Type things. The Janissaries are very Muslim. Uh, Black people are screaming, yelling, well, we're not represented in the game. You've got an entire Space Marine chapter called the Salamanders. They're all dark skinned. They're all black. Okay? So don't even go there. This whole thing about you guys want to be victims of going into game shops and screaming and yelling and causing problems because we're not represented, you're sexist and xenophobic. No, you're just a fucking retard. All you people out there want to sit here and talk about being victims. That's become a big thing here in the 2000s, being a victim. I want to be a victim. Well, you know what? Victims are fall to the wayside and are forgotten, while survivors carry on and change things. None of you people are survivors. You all want to be victims. You would know you wouldn't want to be a real victim. You just want to make up things so you sound like a victim, so you get a little bit of attention from people. So you sit there and cry and piss and moan. I remember when Trump got elected, all these millennials looked up in the sky and screamed and cried and everything else. Made a big deal about it. That's something else I want to talk about here. This is unscripted, so it's little personal thoughts. It's not a totally one subject deal, so deal with me, okay? Uh, Back in the 80s, my God, man, I during the Cold War, it was, we didn't know if we were going to live from one day to the next. I remember a few times I sat outside and cried on the curb, sitting on the curb in front of my house and cried because I didn't know if I was going to be able to wake up in the morning. You people today, you talking about, well, excuse me, we have AIDS, we have terrorists. Well, AIDS and terrorists are very specific. They're going to wipe out a few people. They're not going to erase you, your family, your friends, your history. You never existed. Okay, so don't tell me how you're afraid. We were afraid in the 80s. We had the Berlin Wall. We had communism encroaching on America. And the thing is, that's another thing. Here in America back in the 80s, we were anti-communist, anti-socialist. It would destroy our way of life, the way we've been raised, the way we've thought, the way we've lived. When did all of you people out there who never knew anything about communism and socialism decide that you want to be a socialist? You know, I've noticed since Bernie Sanders pretty much gave up the ghost, for his election and took the money and ran off. Haven't heard anything from his little followers. In fact, since COVID-19, the stay at home shelter in place order happened, and you can't even buy toilet paper because it's non-existent. Entire store shelves are empty. You can't go anywhere. Businesses are closed. People are losing their jobs. People are losing their homes, their places they're living. You haven't heard one thing from Bernie Sanders' little supporters since socialist light happened. Yeah, they got a little taste of socialism here, and they don't like it because they don't get to go anywhere. They don't get to go hang out with their friends. That, excuse me, they don't get to go to the coffee shop. They don't get to go here. They don't get to go there because those places aren't open anymore. Welcome to what socialism would be like. You go to the store and throw a fit because you can't find a certain snack food you want. You can't find toilet paper. You can't find paper towels. Can't find hand sanitizer. Can't find Lysol. Welcome to socialism light, people. This is exactly what it'd be like, you snowflakes. Now go cry someplace. When Bernie Sanders pulled out, holy crap, man, I was so happy. I thought I was going to be drinking some socialist tears. But you guys hid. Good for you. So, there's this, I've seen the world change in the past few months. Something I don't recognize. No longer do we get to go shake hands with somebody. We have to bump elbows. I don't get to go anywhere. We don't get to go spend money because there's no place to spend it at. I'm seeing people out of work losing their homes. This whole stimulus check thing. People throwing a fit about it. How he's just buying votes. Well, you know what? Obama did the same damn thing, and I never got a goddamn penny from that prick. Did that in 2009. 10, 9, 9. I never got a penny out of that. I never saw any money from that. In fact, I don't know many people who did. But everybody said, well, he gave money away. He stimulated the economy. He did this, that, the other. He stimulated something. Sure as fuck wasn't the economy. Oh. Now, Trump is trying to send $1,200 to people, to taxpayers. And we got people in our government saying, well, it's not fair because illegals aren't getting it. Undocumented aliens aren't getting the money. Well, they didn't pay taxes now, did they? They didn't file income tax. They can't. They're not citizens. They'd get caught if they did. They get deported. Maybe they were here illegally. Maybe they'd get something if they were here legally, but it seems to me that they can't do that. Oh, but Robin, that takes up to 18 months to do. Really? Wow. Maybe if they did something legal now and again and everything, maybe it wouldn't take 18 months. Did you ever think of that? Maybe they started the process when they first got here. They'd already have it done. Don't blame the timing people. Blame the people who came over when they came. Don't blame me for being a racist or anything. In fact, I'm going to be addressing that in viewer mail in just a minute. I've seen where now. Well, the thing I do like about this, nobody invades your personal space anymore. They got to stay 6 feet away. Now they're saying 13 feet. Good. Stay away from me. Don't come around me. I'm not a people person. I don't get to see many friends anymore. But then again, I didn't see them very much to begin with. So nothing there has changed. Maybe it has for you guys. I said they're watching videos of people screaming about how depressed they are because they're locked in their house. Think about the people who don't have a house to be locked into, pal. Okay? Think about that. There's a saying, I cried for having no shoes till I met the guy who had no feet. Well, be glad you have shoes. Or don't have shoes. Be glad you have feet. Whatever that means. You don't have to sit here and tell me how crazy it is because I'm locked in my house. Jesus Christ, man. How many times have you wanted to stay home and not go to work, not have to go do anything? You just want to stay home and riff on people online. Watch your Netflix, watch TV. Right now is a very exciting time to be at home because what is not delivered to you? You could get hookers online delivered to your house. It's gotten to that point. So don't tell me how horrible it is. I of course myself, I'm kind of agoraphobic anyway. But even that notwithstanding, you guys got it made. You want to talk about how it's horrible because we're being quarantined. If you want to call this a quarantine, actual quarantine was they took you, put you in a camp someplace away from everybody else. So either you got over it or you died. One of the two. That was the only way out. Get over it or die. It was like prison. So really, people, you're not being quarantined. You're being suggested to shelter in place. And Cat, she's an asshole. Don't sit there and cry and piss and moan at me, or at everybody because your life is so bad. Life is what you make it. You want to sit here and talk about how you're going stir crazy. I think you're crazy to begin with. Don't sit there and act like the world's coming to an end when all you got to do is get on this cute little thing we call a computer. Get online. Tell me somebody who's not online, and order whatever you want. You can get it. It delivered to your front door, or curbside as they call it nowadays. They don't want to come to your front door. They might catch something if you have it. The world is not ending. We'll get over this. The world is changing. I don't see people shaking hands very much anymore, even after this virus shit's over with. I don't see a lot of people getting physically close to anybody anymore. They're going to be afraid because there's going to be the next pandemic. I look at this whole thing as practice for the future. The world has changed. I don't think it's changed it for the better, but we can live with it. We can deal with it. I mean, this virus has actually changed our language. There's a new word that I'm very fond of called COVIDiot. And I see a lot of COVIDiots. You COVIDiots are the ones who went out to the store and bought everything up to go hoard so nobody else could have it. There are people I've spoken to that actually have an entire spare bedroom filled with toilet paper. What's the matter? Afraid you're going to get the shits? God, people disgust me. You want to go out and buy everything you possibly can, and buy all the toilet paper you can, which is great with me because you're going to starve and you got all the toilet paper you're not going to be using, but you're starving. Shows how smart you are. I remember, oh my gosh, the 12th of last month, going to a Publix here there in Marietta, and seeing this woman trying to push a cart overflowing with bags of toilet paper. I actually walked up next to her. She looked very serious. Looked at her and said, "What's the matter? Got the shits?" She didn't like me very much after that. But hey, I'm not going to bullshit anybody. So how do you guys feel about some viewer mail here? Hold on. We got something here. Let me look through here really fast. And got the other computer going over here. So, yes. Here's one. I'm not going to mention the idiot's name because I don't want them getting any recognition for this. Robin Graves, I refuse to listen to your cast anymore. You, sir, are a racist Nazi. I'm racist. I'm a Nazi. Go through my videos, please. They're all right here on YouTube. Go through them. Find one racist thing I've said. One. I challenge you. As for being a Nazi, Nazis were socialists. I'm not a socialist. I can't stand socialism. I like to better myself when I can. So, sir, you are wrong on both counts, and I can prove it just by showing the videos. Obviously, you're a troll. That or a Hillary supporter, one of the two. Here's one that I'm really happy about, and this is probably going to give me letters written to me and people complaining. What is your feelings about Nancy Pelosi and what she's been doing? I'm going to tell you right now. I picked this for a reason. I'm going to pick some things apart. In 2009, when Obama did the stimulus thing and gave all the TARP money away to everybody, Nancy Pelosi spent millions sending prophylactics and money to Africa to teach them how to perform safe sex. She said all of this to a region of the world where contraceptives, it's not that they were unknown, they didn't use them, it was against their beliefs. to hell with somebody's beliefs. She was going to force her way on them anyway. When she was actually asked about this in an interview, I remember seeing this on TV, she actually said, when she was asked, how is this going to help them? They don't believe in contraceptives. All she could say is, it'll help. It'll help. How is it going to help? It'll help. No answer, just it'll help. They finally went on to another question because she wouldn't answer. Nancy Pelosi is the reason that the stimulus checks were held up for a while. She didn't want them going on until she got her bullshit pork that she wanted. All these things, money going to her special interests that she supports. It's ridiculous. This was not meant for that. It was meant to help the American people. But nothing she wanted helped the American people. Nothing. Nothing whatsoever. But people still want to vote her in. Well, mainly California wants to. But that's California. So that explains their entire problem right there. Chuck Schumer wants to follow this bitch around. The woman started the whole let's impeach Trump fiasco that flopped epically. Now she's want to start again. Excuse me, hiccups. Let me get a little drink here. She's wanting to start again. She said her exact words were, "We want to know what Trump knew and when he knew it. Pelosi, I want to know what you knew when you knew it. When you knew it." She's the one sitting there saying, well, we can't call it the Kung flu because it's racist. Kung flu, bitch. Kung fucking flu. It's not racist. It started in China. I don't care what the WHO says. No, we can't blame China. They didn't start it. Yes, they did. That's the epicenter. That's where it started. I don't care what excuse you gave. That it came from somebody eating a bat or some little animal's scales or something. Doesn't matter. It started in China, which if you Chinese, the communist Chinese want to say, well, it started from bat soup or this animal or something like that. It just goes to show that they'll eat anything that moves, no matter how nasty it is. So you're not helping anything there, Xi Jinping. You're helping nobody, nothing whatsoever. In fact, according to the State Department report from 2 years ago, the Wuhan Virology Center, which China is now saying never existed, they showed pictures of it. They investigated it and said it was so far behind in protocols, they're surprised a pandemic didn't start. Well, guess what? A pandemic started. All because of China. Because of the Wuhan Virology Institute. Which actually, Canada actually said, yes, it does exist. We've sent viral samples there before. So even God again, there is Xi Jinping. Nancy wants to protect China. I believe she has business interests there. I believe a lot of politicians do, on the left and the right. Nancy wants to sit there and talk about how racist everybody is, how moral this is, moral that is. It's only what she wants. It's moral. Anyone else wants something, it's immoral. Kind of funny that way. The old Botox-swollen drunk bitch. She's Sebastian of morality. I don't know who died and made her God. Hold on, I have an answer. No one. Microphone. So, you wanted my take on the whole thing about Nancy Pelosi. She's running around causing all kinds of problems because she knows that she's not going to be around after November. She knows that her job's over with. So she's going to cause as many problems as she can right now. She's the one who's wanting the mail-in votes. Instead of us going to the polling places and voting like normal, she wants everybody to mail them in. But according to her, her and a lot of Democrats, the virus is nothing more than a cold. But we have to protect ourselves and mail in our votes so that they can rig the election and cheat their asses off the way they normally do. Don't tell me they don't cheat. Yes, they do. I've got a lot of friends that are Democrats, but they're old school Democrats. They have an idea. They're not these new, let's be socialist Democrats. God, I hate social Democrats. People think they're going to be getting something for free. Yeah, right. Who's going to pay for it? Your taxes are. It's not free. Nancy Pelosi is doing anything she can to stay in power. And she's got that idiot Chuck the fuck Schumer, following around like a dog and everything, thinking, oh, I wasn't popular in high school, so I'm going to be around Nancy. I'm popular now because I'm friends with Nancy. Chuck Schumer is nothing but a patsy that she's waiting to blame things on, and he's too stupid to see it. He's not strong-willed enough at all, to actually see the truth of anything. The only thing that asshole's good at is saying stupid shit and looking down his stupid gay glasses down at you. And Nancy wants to have him around her so that she can throw the blame off on him when she really screws up. That's the only reason he's around. So you want to know my opinion of Nancy Pelosi? She's an evil, Botox-swilling, drunk bitch. She's God. You know what? I'm probably going to get banned on Facebook for this. I don't care. I've got all kinds of other places to post this video. So you know what? You guys can have a prolapse the size of the planet for all I care about what I think about her. But I was asked and I answered. And I'm answering it mildly. I'm being nice. So, look guys, I'm going to let you guys go. This has been Robin Graves for the world according to Graves Unscripted. You guys take care of each other. Watch out for one another. Make smart decisions. Okay? And most of all, talk hard. I'll catch you guys next time. I'm shooting to be here next week. This is probably it for this week. But I'll catch you soon. Take care.